I don't think the match was anything about women's sports. I think it was about social change.
I don't think you give us credit for having any brains.
I like the fact that Billie Jean won.
If you are fighting against Title IX, you are fighting against the very fabric of our nation, allowing people to be better.
I think it is definitely one of the most profound civil rights laws ever passed in this country. And the fact that so many of our young kids don't have a clue what it is drives me nuts.
When I was growing up, girls just didn't run in public.
No one on my all-boys team would pass to me.
Dad told me I couldn't be a boxer. He said I was too small.
There was a guy who tried to spit on me and then push me out of his way.
There comes a point where you have to be sure of yourself. People aren't used to women being so passionate. It scares them.
One day, I just said it doesn't matter what other people think.
I'm a fashion model who can dunk.
I'm a girl. That doesn't mean I have to wear a skirt.
Doesn't mean I can't get all fired up. They used to say, that girl is crazy.
But then I just kept winning.
I didn't set out to dominate. I just did.
Somebody's got to be the best, so why not me?
Girls, we run this. Yeah. Girls, we run this. Yeah. Girls, we run this. Yeah. Girls, we run this. Girls, who run the world? 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 Girls, who run this?
No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, or denied the benefits of, or be subject to discrimination under any educational program or activity receiving federal financial aid assistance.
Title IX further explained.
Today, lots of girls play sports. But for a long time, girls were not encouraged to kick, throw, run, jump, shoot, slide, or hit like boys. So why did things change? And how much have they changed? Are girls and boys treated equally when it comes to sports? To begin to answer these questions, we have to look back. In 1972, Congress passed a law called Title IX, which protected girls and women from discrimination in schools, colleges, and universities. This included discrimination in school-sponsored sports. At that time, only 15% of college athletes were women, and in high schools, only 7% of athletes were girls. Female athletes didn't get a lot of support either, and often had to provide their own uniforms and equipment. It was Title IX that forced school administrators to make sports more equal. But what does equal mean in sports? The government developed rules to measure equality under two general categories: participation and treatment. In the early days of Title IX, the number of girls playing sports was so low that it would have been very difficult for schools to suddenly provide exactly the same number of opportunities for girls and boys. Instead, the government wrote rules that gave schools 3 options, or tests, to demonstrate fairness and opportunities for girls. The 3 tests are proportionality, progress, and satisfied interests. A school can pick which test to follow. Proportionality means that girls should receive the same percentage of athletic opportunities as the percentage of girls in the student body. So if 51% of students are girls, then girls should have approximately 51% of the opportunities to play sports. The second test, progress, requires schools to make up for the days when girls had fewer opportunities by adding new sports for girls on a regular basis. The third test asks if girls' interests in athletics are satisfied. Under this test, a school must regularly ask female students what sports they are interested in, and also take into consideration the popularity of certain sports in the area where the school is located. It must then add teams according to the girls' interests. Another important part of Title IX is that it doesn't just look at how many athletic opportunities are available to each sex, but whether those opportunities are of equal quality. Specifically, Title IX requires equality between boys and girls teams for things like equipment and supplies, publicity, the scheduling of games and practice times, and the quality and number of coaches. Girls should also have equal access to locker rooms, practice spaces, and competitive facilities, as well as medical services. So if the best time to play basketball is on Friday nights because that's when most parents and fans can come, then the girls and boys teams should take turns playing on Friday night. If boys teams play in a stadium with lights, scoreboards, and concession stands, then girls teams must have the same opportunity, either by sharing those facilities or getting their own of equal quality. But as we all know, just because a law exists doesn't mean that everybody follows it. School officials are responsible for making sure there is fairness in sports, but you can help too by keeping an eye on your own school. Look around. Are there a lot more boys than girls who play sports? Is the boys' soccer field better than the girls? Are athletic trainers available to all teams equally? Does the baseball team get new uniforms every year while the softball team gets them every 3 years? If you think there might be inequality in your schools, you can approach a school administrator, a parent, or the Office of Civil Rights, a government agency that makes sure schools comply with Title IX. Because equality is important for everyone, both on the field and off.
Title IX today.
I don't like go into a game and go like, thank you, Title IX, but like the fact that I get to do what I love and like I've never been questioned whether I can play soccer or basketball or softball or whatever. The fact that I've never been told I can't do that because I was a female just means it means a lot to me and like means it's really special.
Work hard! Don't get beat! I actually was a senior when the first girls soccer program team started, and I came out and helped coach, and it was pretty amazing because we had good athletes, but they just had no background in soccer. And I now have some of my friends, some of my high school friends show up to games, and they look at me and say, I never knew female athletes were this good in high school.
Now, a short glimpse at how Title IX affects male sports.
Take CJ Caselli. He's a senior captain on the men's club lacrosse team here at UF. He says he didn't get as many opportunities to play lacrosse at the collegiate level because of Title IX.
Are you kidding me?
To be in compliance with Title IX, schools must choose where to spend their money, often resulting in the cutting of non-revenue men's sports. And it's not so they can fund women's sports, but so they can pump more money into the football program.
So what's the difference between a club sport and a varsity sport here at UF? Well, for starters, here's where the club team plays some of their games compared to this.
On the other hand, both males and females receive benefits from Title IX.
Basketball Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller once said, quote, without Title IX, I'd be nowhere, end quote. And a look at the numbers proves she is just one of millions to reap the benefits of the legislation passed 40 years ago. When Miller was just in grade school in 1972, only about 1 in 25 girls played high school sports. Today, it's more like 1 in 3. Before Title IX, there were 294,000 girls playing in high school. Today, there are 3.2 million. That's an increase of about 1,100%. Title IX detractors claim it's hurting men's sports, especially at the college level. But the numbers show otherwise. Both women and men have seen an increased level of opportunity here. In the last 10 years, the number of women participating in NCAA sports increased by 33,000. The number of men participating increased by 38,000. So when the 37 words that made up Title IX went into effect 40 years ago, Cheryl Miller wasn't the only winner. We all were.
Man, I feel like a woman.